Welcome to Technical Market Insights, ladies and gentlemen, the home of keeping things simple, looking at the market through the stock charts. It was Thanksgiving last week, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody had a great holiday. And let's see what the market did. So we do see the majority of the market, I believe, besides semiconductor, finished up for the week. Now the Dow Jones on the weekly chart went up 1.25% last week. And it has been going up. We've seen a weekly bounce as we expected. I mean, you can say go to the low. If you got right at the low, which we don't really anticipate, you'd be up 10% in DIA, which UDOW probably means close to 30. Let's see, yeah, 29%, ladies and gentlemen, and that's how we trade is through the actual stock chart on the regular ETF. We will go to the leveraged ETF, ladies and gentlemen. So if you would have traded DIA, which on the weekly, could have had a weekly swing there. It's it's over the 200 and oversold. And you could have had 30% within a little over a month in UDOW. Now the daily chart is actually, or was under the 200 day when, for instance, it was oversold. So we were under the 200 day moving average. We are not messing with it. But could have traded that weekly chart. Same with everything else. As we expected a weekly bounce, we talked about recently, and technology, even though we didn't like the higher or the lower highs and the lower lows. And it was trending at a downward angle there. It being in the oversold position, there's always a swing trade possibility. Now we like the weekly charts on all of them a lot more. And looks like last week the triple Qs almost got you a percentage point, whereas in semiconductors it pulled back about a half a percentage. And if you would have looked at SOXL when we were expecting this weekly uptrend, which was back here, so you would have probably averaged, been down as much as 15% at one point if you would have just bought and held, and up 30%. But what we like to do is lower our cost average, so we definitely would have scaled in possibly 2, 3, 4 times, right? So if we went 20% here, we could have added 4 more times and been 100% in this position, probably average right around here. And you've been up about 36% at one point. On the weekly, once again, all of these are getting into the overbought territory on the week, so we are being very cautious. SPY, same thing, weekly swing trade that. Daily chart was under the 200 day, so we wouldn't have traded on the 200 day or on the daily chart based on the 200 day. Now oil, we've seen the weekly charts on that pull back as we expected. At the same time, we called the market weekly charts a bounce. And it looks like it is now entering the oversold condition and kind of bottoming out right around the bottom Bollinger Band. We are anticipating a bounce in that along with XOP. And both of those are entering the oversold on the weekly charts. Now daily charts looks kind of rough, but struggling to hold the 200 day. Same with XOP. As always, we're looking at something we would want to hold over the next 10 years, either an overall sector or just DIA and SPY. So oil really doesn't do it for us. XPY, that got killed on the daily, but we did anticipate support here and the weekly charts to bounce, and as you can see have been bouncing out of that oversold condition. Look at the monthly, which is the only thing we would have traded on this because it's over the 200 day. And we were looking at it, go videos back, probably last month sometime. We were calling support here. That's what it gave you. Let's see, LABU, what did it do last month? 31% in a month, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, the leverage version of the charts always look different than the overall ETF. Why we trade them based on these ETFs. or those charts, not the leverage charts. And that is the market. So the overall market is overbought on the daily and the weekly, and actually the monthly. And we are anticipating a pullback going into the end of the year. End of the year can always be weird as people trying to not sell some stocks due to not wanting to pay taxes on the unrealized gains and selling stocks just to lock in losses to actually report for taxes. So December, I'm rarely in the market, honestly. I'm usually just kind of watching, prepping for January, just to avoid some weird behaviors. And let's see. So once again, very toppy on the monthly charts. Entire market. Be cautious, ladies and gentlemen. We are very, very cautious. And right now, the only stocks that are oversold on the daily and bullish would be NRG. That's the nicest looking charts, utility company. Now, I would definitely check into their earnings. They do pay a dividend, that's what we want. But if they ain't really making money, I believe there's been some, I want to say, leadership changes. I think the CEO left, which is weird for stock to start trending up when a lot of weird stuff's going on. But hey, it could be bullish for the company. Like I said, we trade on charts, not the fundamentals, but we do dig into the fundamentals once we find a stock chart we like. And pretty bullish on. And everything else is pretty much oil. There's a technology company oversold, but it's not at the bottom Bollinger Band, so we would like to kind of wait it out. But then again, it's already got a 15% run up to the previous highs. Got a pretty good pullback. Let's see. Any news lately? Insiders sold. I don't pay attention to insiders too much, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen somebody, and I'll tell you, OPK, I still remember the ticker. I mean, I remember seeing this company. I mean, it's been years ago. Insider buy all the way down. And I mean, guys, look into this. I bet this guy's still picking up pieces of the company. Yeah, this guy is always buying this company. The CEO. I don't know what the deal is, but I've seen so many times where insiders will buy stocks. Trust me, I've spent a year or two just focusing on that insider buys and sells, but they're not going to. They don't work out like that. Trust me. Well, they got laws against insider trading. Well, if insiders were trading on inside information, that'd be easy for everybody to follow and make money. That's not the case. Really nothing out there I would be interested in right now. We are interested in watching the overall market get pulled back. Same with some of our favorites, which you can see in some of our past videos. So right now, if I'm looking to enter something, this is oversold. Now we like to see them touch the bottom Bollinger Band, but if it is looking like it's trending up on that 20-day moving average, which is in the middle of the Bollinger Bands, that's always a area of support. I've seen bullish stocks, as you can see. I mean, now they ain't oversold in those areas, but I've seen plenty of bullish charts to ride that 20-day moving average all the way up. So gotta know how to enter, how much to enter with, have a good strategy down for those. But that may not be a bad entry point. I mean, it is been at this level. Look at the weekly chart. Maybe this thing will break out soon. Don't know. Or you could just wait and expect it to come right back down. So you could be buying at the highs where it's starting to look bullish. Look at that monthly chart right there. I would keep an eye on that. But then again, it could break out as it's been consolidating for some time. I mean, it's been $30 to $45 range for the last 4 years. Geez, that's crazy. Definitely a good time to buy that stock every time. Is it 50%, 45% in 10 months? Question is now a good time? Daily chart looks bright. It could break up or it could just rocket back down. Anyway, we're not a buyer. We're watching the overall market. Now, there's a lot of stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Healthcare right now is coming up on our bullish scans for sector indexes, but we want to see them when the market's pulled back, because that's going to tell us what's really bullish when they're bullish and oversold. As you can see, we got a lot of stuff coming in as bullish, but that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Be cautious out there. The market is really just at, to me, some very, very strong resistance levels. Let's see the U.S. stocks real quick. Just some of the biggest winners, biggest losers. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to be in these. Look at these. 19%, but what a crappy stock. Don't get excited if somebody tells you, hey, this is up 19, 20%. It's going to keep going up. For these pump and dumps happen. Do not buy into it. I mean, most of these ain't even worth looking at. Go into here. Let's do this real quick. One of your biggest winners in the high cap. Been a biggest loser. Coin, we went over that. That thing's been ripping. Not a fan of that sector, but geez, still not excited about that stock. Look at the biggest droppers. These are just in the high cap. Ladies and gentlemen, we are just patiently waiting on our trading account, which might just take place, probably be January, before we actually start buying and trading stocks. And that will probably be on the educational account we're going to do. We're going to open a brokerage fund up with about 2K and probably add 20% of my income to it every month and just see how quickly we can grow that. And overall, we will probably just be adding to any of our favorites that we're holding, like on any pullbacks that happened prior. So BWX pulls back the oversold. We have been looking at this one right here. I'd like to see that pull back and the oversold. We're not an owner of that yet. We're planning on being. We get that mixed up. That pulls back. So we're definitely watching to add some long-term positions when they pull back, and we'll probably just be preparing the trading. Not really preparing. There ain't much to prepare, but just kind of patiently waiting for the year to end and get that brokerage set up to do here on the channel. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do.